Okay, so then if you could give our first-time cruisers any piece of advice, what would it be?
Remember, nobody out here knows you.
He said, remember, there's nobody out here that knows you.
Alright y'all, so I am on board the Carnival Elation in Jacksonville again. I'm excited for another 5-night voyage on this beautiful fantasy class ship. But anyway, so far so good. I've had a couple of drinks. I'm drinking water now because it's quite warm today. From the back of the ship, you could see the Dames Point Bridge off in the distance. That's actually a bridge that we would be going under in just a few minutes. So I snapped a picture of that and then made my way down to my room to cool off and unpack a little bit. On shorter sailings like this, I don't always fully unpack, but I do like to hang up my collared shirts and stuff as soon as possible because they like to get wrinkled. From there, I decided to make my way up to the lobby and grab a drink at the lobby bar, and I grabbed a Carnival birthday beer. There was a little bit of confusion last time I posted this beer, people thinking it was my birthday. That's actually a beer that Carnival launched with their 50th birthday celebration, which was their big anniversary event that they had going on since March of 2022, and that is a carryover from that. I'm not sure how long that beer will exist, maybe forever, but I like it because it's full flavored but refreshing and has high alcohol content, and I like that it comes in the pint-sized can. And then from there, I made my way up to the Lido deck. One of the things that I noticed was a difference from the last time I was on the Elation were the windows on this upper rotunda thing, which is actually the kids club area, and I'll drop in a picture of how it used to look so you can kind of compare like what they changed it to. As you can see, they've changed it to like continuous panels instead of being individual windows. I actually think the old windows look nicer because they had a more of a classic look to them, but the new windows are probably better and more efficient. And so I just hung out on the Lido deck by the pool for a little bit, people watched and all that, had a couple of drinks, and within a few minutes of that we were pushing off the dock and making our way out into the open waters. And so I made my way down to the main part of the Lido deck to get involved with the Sailaway stuff. They had a dance battle, which I did participate in, but I got out really early. And then it ended up with these two people, a guy and a girl, and they were definitely the right picks because they did a good job of pumping the crowd up and just being generally entertaining. And we did a couple of the usual line dances before I grabbed a Miami Vice, which is a Sailaway tradition for me, and then I made my way up to the sun deck so I could watch us going under the bridge. One of the restrictions for cruise ships going out of Jacksonville is that the Dames Point Bridge has a pretty low clearance. Most cruise ships won't fit under it. The Elation clears it pretty easily, and I think the Sunshine class can also go out of there. Maybe Conquest, I'm not sure, but I do know most of the newer ships will not fit under that bridge, so we'll see what happens with Jacksonville in the future. One of the reasons I came back on the Carnival Elation is because of Peter. He's one of the Fun Squad members. I had actually originally met him in Miami. He was on his way to the Elation for his initial contract, and Carlos and I were on our way to, I believe, the Disney Dream. And then when I was on the Elation in January, which was just a coincidence because that had been booked long before I met him in Miami, he recognized me, and so we hit it off, and by the end of the cruise we exchanged contact information. So at one point he came up to say hi to me, but he was definitely busy because embarkation day is pretty busy for Fun Squad and, pretty much everyone on board. After clearing the bridge, I was hungry, so I decided to grab a burger from Guy's Burgers. And at this point, it was nearing sunset, which always looks so pretty from the deck of a cruise ship. And so I got a little passover shot of the Lido deck before making my way down to deck 9. The casino wasn't open yet, but I did intend to play in there at one point during the cruise because Carnival's really good at giving out casino offers. And last time I only played like 20-30 bucks, and I got an offer like a week later, which was obviously a cool surprise. And because of that, I have quite a few Carnival cruises booked for next year.
I remember sitting up just one fact before.
I grabbed a drink at Alchemy and then made my way down to the Mercado Lounge, which is the main theater on board. In between sailings, Peter had been promoted to bingo host, so I wanted to go do bingo to kind of support him, and just because I hadn't done it in a while. It had actually been almost a year since I'd played the last time on Carnival Conquest. Unfortunately, I didn't win, but I did have fun playing, and the bingo led into the Welcome Aboard show, which is one that I didn't get to see last time I was on board.
Carnival Elation, make some noise for your bingo host all the way from South Africa. That's me! Oh, stop it. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, man. Alright, hello everybody. My name is Peter and I'm your bingo host here on board. And I'm the one giving you the money, so...
Okay, so then if you could give our first-time cruisers any piece of advice, what would it be?
Remember, nobody out here knows you.
He said, remember, there's nobody out here that knows you, so have fun. That's a good one.
Say I'm brave.
The welcome aboard show was pretty good. Carnival repeats them from ship to ship, so once you've seen one, you've kind of seen them all. But of course, the singers, dancers, and entertainers change every time. And there were a couple of good singers and really solid dancers in this cast. But from there, I made my way up to Alchemy because they were having the LGBTQ event, and Alchemy is by far the best bar on board in my opinion. There wasn't a big turnout for the event, but I had a few drinks while I was there and did my best to mix and mingle. Because I booked the sailing last minute, the early dining was sold out, so I ended up with late dining, and I opted not to go down to dinner. I actually have a tendency to miss dinner the first night anyway, especially when I have late dining, but yeah, I wanted to go to the deli and have a sandwich instead. And I grabbed a turkey sandwich on a pretzel bun and made my way out to the Lido deck, which of course looked really good at this time of night, before making my way down to my room and calling it a night.
Alright y'all, that's a wrap. Another fabulous embarkation day in the books. I didn't really show my room at all. I got a weird one, so I booked a guarantee this time, and so I ended up with a bunk above the bed, and then also a bunk across the room. So this interior actually sleeps 4 people, and I ended up with it somehow. I don't know how they do the room assignments. I know it's based on whatever's left when they start booking people into the, the guaranteed category rooms. But yeah, one couple was saying that they're celebrating their anniversary, and they ended up with bunk beds. So I'm willing to bet that was a booking oversight on their part, because they did a guarantee. But the reason why it's called a guarantee is because they'll guarantee you a room within that category or higher than that. They'd never reduce you to a smaller size room. So, pay attention, because I've definitely, made mistakes when booking rooms as well. Like, I usually like to be close to the elevators or, the stairwell. But sometimes when I've done that, like, I had a promenade view room on one of the royal ships, and because of where I put my room close to the elevator, my promenade view was actually a view of a staircase, not the actual promenade. So anyway, things like that. But when you book a guarantee, you obviously get what you get, and I got this. But anyway, I'm gonna go to bed. I want to thank you all so much for traveling with me. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all those fun things. We'll talk soon, and y'all have a good night.